So a few months back, I saw the DIY queen herself, Miss Raven Elise, making this fake cake for her 30th birthday. And I kept this in the back of my mind because I knew I would need it one day. And today is that day. I too am going to be using it for a photo shoot, but my color scheme is black and silver. So I ordered the heart box from Amazon and then got the rest of the supplies from different craft stores. And then I got to work. I glued the box together, mixed up my spackle and paint, and then I decided to elevate it so that I could get a more even coating process, I guess you could say. And this was honestly the most fun part of the process for me, just making everything look super nice and even. Once I felt like I got it to a pretty good place, I went ahead and added my glitter to it, and then I started the process of piping. Now let's talk about things that I would have done differently now that I have hindsight. I would have had this process go over at least 4 or 5 days. You're going to see in a second that the cake ends up actually drying gray, and it's because the spackle was so white that really no amount of black paint was going to fix that. Because the more black paint I added to the spackle, the more watery the consistency of the spackle got, which is where I really ran into a problem here when I was piping the sides of the cake, because it was very, very drippy and runny, but it's fine. We prevailed. I also would have gone out and gotten like real cake bags and piping tips immediately, because I was just using sandwich bags to start. The things that I did do right is that I always practiced before I started to do something. So as y'all can see on the parchment paper, I would practice like the different piping techniques. I practiced making this 500, even though I ended up having to scrape it off and start over because it was not shifted in the correct place. And if I had given myself enough time, I could have just painted the gray parts black. However, overall, I think it turned out really, really good. I love doing DIY projects. It just really does something to my really creative Pisces soul, you know? And I love that I didn't have to be too precious with the cake during the shoot. Plus, I can keep it as a keepsake.